Hi, friends. Kathy Lanzalaco here. Another episode of Inspire Careers Spotlight on Careers. My guest today is Haley Mitchell. I'm very excited to bring Haley to you today. We have some exciting information, and Haley is going to open up about her college career and what her professional career has in store for her after her graduation. Haley is a recent graduate of the University of North Texas. And Haley's got a really exciting college career behind her, and she's got a lot of interesting things to talk about in her story. But like a lot of other college students, Haley's gone through a lot over the past few years, changing majors, dealing with COVID, remote work. And I think it's really important as I talk to Haley today that college seniors can kind of see themselves in her and some new grads as well. You talk about having been through it. You guys have been through it over the past few years. So as a recent college grad, Haley's been through a lot of different things she's going to share with us. So I don't want to steal her thunder. Let's start there, Haley. And why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background? I think it's so important, and I'm so proud of you and so happy for you. As a participant in the Inspire Career Student Professional Launch Program, the first goal that we thought we were going to get you a job, but so much of your life has unfolded. Why don't you share it with us?
Okay, well, hello everyone. I'm Haley. I'm from Allen, Texas. I was introduced to Kathy through my dad when I wasn't really sure of what career path I was wanting to take. I felt very lost, but through Kathy and Inspire Careers, I've really kind of created a path for myself with the help from her. So that's kind of why I'm here today. So I'm currently working as a veterinary technician in Keller, Texas. I really love it. I love working with animals in the healthcare field. So I'm a graduate from the University of North Texas, and I have changed majors a couple times, but I finally settled on one that I think encapsulated everything that I enjoy learning about and will give me a good leg up in getting a job in the healthcare field. I originally thought I wanted to go to veterinary school, which is why I was working and I'm also currently working as a veterinary technician at a vet clinic in Keller, Texas. So I was majoring in biology, kinesiology, and psychology. After working, I decided veterinary school isn't for me, and so that kind of bumped me off my path, and I didn't really know where to go from there. Through Kathy and Inspire Careers, I've taken a few personality assessments, interest surveys, and done a bunch of research on different paths that I could put myself back on, which is how I found nuclear medicine technology. I'm very excited to begin this next step in my life. I'll be joining a program in August of this year, a 2-year associate's degree to become a nuclear medicine technologist, and I'm very excited.
Well, Haley, you encapsulate it for everybody, but the reality is it was a long 4 years, wasn't it? I mean, you went through a lot, and changing majors, if nobody's ever done it, you might not appreciate how difficult it can be, how you have to go back and take some different classes you didn't anticipate to. Your path that you anticipated when you started did not turn out exactly that way, and there's some disappointment in there too, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely went into college thinking that I had my whole life already planned out for college and after college, but that's not the reality. I don't think that's the reality for most people. So I definitely had my fair share of struggles in figuring out what I was really passionate about, what I thought I would do best at when it comes to careers.
So, Haley, tell us a little bit about the program and tell us about what in particular it was about nuclear medicine technology that interested you. But I'm going to put a disclaimer here. Haley, who will not tell you this, is very strong in math and science. She's also a very strong woman, and she is very self-directed. And to go into the medical field, you do need to have, in many cases, a good, strong background in math or science. And I was a registered nurse for many, many years. And, I did not necessarily have that, but I had enough and I made it well through that. But the stuff today, that these courses are very, very competitive, aren't they? And the requirements to get into some of these exclusive programs are tough too. So why don't you just kind of tell us about how you made that, what it is about nuclear medicine technologist that you feel is a good match for you and your skill set, and some of the things that you did to make that decision. There are others listening to this, watching this, that want to learn from what you did.
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't even know nuclear medicine technology existed until I started doing this research. It kind of helped me understand how many jobs there are truly out there that we don't even know about, that we may love and do great at. Um, I took a personality assessment and an interest survey, which greatly helped to narrow down my options. And medical imaging, that umbrella term was one of the options that I was kind of matched up with, and that really struck my interest. It immediately was something that I was like, that's cool. I can see myself doing that. So, of course, I Googled it, I researched it, I watched YouTube videos about a day in the life of a nuclear medicine technologist, and it really interested me. So, branching off of that, I joined a few Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups for nuclear medicine technologists, and reached out to a few people in that career field and kind of emailed with them a little bit and asked them a few questions about how they enjoy it, what they don't like, what they love, how they came to be in this field. And through talking with them, they were also helpful and really kind of just solidified my decision to pursue this career path.
Yeah, and what you told me too was that the work that you're doing as a vet tech, even though you didn't become a veterinarian, the work that you're doing as a vet tech is very similar, meaning there's a lot of procedures that you do. There's the patient care that you do. Patients, dogs are humans, whatever, animals are humans. The point is that you're involved in the healing process. You're involved in the diagnostics. There's a medical team that you were so excited to be part of. So even though our vision doesn't necessarily turn out to be what we first think it is, you're still doing a lot of the things that you thought you would be doing. How exciting is that for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It is another one of the reasons why I'm ecstatic about pursuing this. Because yeah, as a veterinary technician, I love, you know, providing care, documenting medical notes, giving medications, et cetera, doing all of those technical parts of the job. I love it, whether it's on a dog and a cat or a human. I love that part of the job. And in nuclear medicine technology, I can really apply those skills that I have to that as well, just for a different reason.
Yeah, let's talk just briefly so that, again, people that are watching this and thinking about how to make those next steps. Remember when you were researching nuclear medicine technologist, we were very concerned about what the salary was, right?
Mhm.
You got to make a living off of this. If you're going to make another investment in school after the one you've already made for a 4-year degree, are you going to get that money back? What is the long-term sustainability of that? And, is the field growing? What could you expect? And what are some of the things that you found? And you don't have to necessarily go into the numbers, but in doing your research, because I know you were on LinkedIn, you were on other sites, we did a lot of Googling and looking for things. What kind of things did you find that were helpful to you?
So with nuclear medicine technology, while yes, I am very excited about pursuing this, it's something that I feel passionate about. It's also a stable career and a sustainable career as well. The field is growing. Nuclear medicine technologists are constantly in demand at various settings. There's even traveling nuclear medicine technologists that are needed in the field as well. Um, and it overall is a career that that satisfies both what I want to do and what I need to as a human being.
Mhm, mhm. And you're contributing in a massive way. Healthcare, you read anything all over the internet, healthcare is one of the fastest growing fields, which has a lot to do with the pandemic that we're still living through right now.
Mhm.
But it is, I keep talking to clients as well, healthcare keeps coming up. Now, there are concerns, right? I mean, we have to be safe in these, but this is also growing in terms of what we know now to keep people safe. There's no reason to be afraid to do anything that you want to do. There's the chances everybody takes doing anything at all. But what you've demonstrated is following your passion, applying skills that you already have, taking things that you know that you enjoy, digging deep, asking questions, asking people for help, doing research, setting your goals by saying, look, this is the threshold of money that I need to make a living. This is what I need realistically. This is what I want. This is what I deserve. You're going to have 2 degrees by the time you come out. You should, be making some decent money here,
Mhm.
right? To live the life that you want to lead. So these were all parts of your process. If you had to narrow it down to one thing that you did that out of all the actions that you took, what might be the one thing that you felt made the biggest difference for you? And it might not be for everybody, but made the biggest difference for you to really help set you on to this unfolding path.
Yeah. So with COVID, obviously that has affected people's career decisions, especially in the healthcare field. A big part of finding a job or something that you like or getting experiences in the healthcare field is shadowing and observing and volunteering. And with COVID, that hasn't really been allowed. I would do that before COVID, and that kind of, helped me to see my options and see what I like and dislike. But with COVID, that's not really something that we can do at this time. So it kind of makes you feel hindered in your career search. So I think doing informational interviews absolutely helped me 100% in deciding that this is something that I want to do, finding people that are in the field that have just recently joined the field or have been in the field for years and years, talking with them and kind of seeing their experiences wherever they're at in the country really kind of narrows down what the job is and if you would like it or not.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Haley, now that you're settled in on the path and you're making your application, you're doing everything that you need to do, what is the one piece of advice that you'd like to leave with the young people that are watching this today that might be confused, that are a bit disillusioned because of the problems that they've experienced over the past years because of the pandemic? And then, of course, everybody's got their own things they bring to the table, right? Their own issues and different things. But what is the one piece of advice that you would give to people watching this?
It's a great question. Don't be afraid to change your mind throughout college. You're in your late teens, early 20s. This is the perfect time to explore who you are and what you really want to do. And talking with advisors, talking with your family, talking with those in careers that you may be interested in. Do all of those things and don't be afraid to change your major if you need to, or quit your job and find a new one if you want to. Just because you make one decision going into college that this is your major, this is what you want to do, that's not necessarily going to be the truth by the time you're a senior in college. So don't be afraid to explore and widen your horizons.
All right. And we will leave it with that today.
Yay.
All right. So, Haley, I'm excited for you and for what the future holds for you. And thank you so much for opening up today here on our podcast. I really appreciate it. And I know that the words that you've spoken have touched other people in similar situations that are trying to just figure things out.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that.
Yes,
Best of
thank
luck.
you so much.
Yeah. Best of luck to you in this new phase of your college career as you're sorting things out. Thank you for being so generous with your time. And thank you everyone for listening for another episode of Inspired Careers Spotlight on Careers.